Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for March 25, 2025. Firstly, the situation in Ukraine remains complex and volatile. The international community is calling for a peaceful resolution to the conflict, while Russia's actions continue to spark controversy. In related news, a group of U.S. senators has written a letter to the Trump administration, urging it to transfer over $300 billion in seized Russian assets to support Ukraine. In other news, President Donald Trump has introduced a new concept in economic warfare, threatening to impose secondary tariffs on countries that buy oil from Venezuela. This move aims to choke off Venezuela's oil trade and pressure the Latin American nation over immigration and foreign policy issues. Lastly, President Trump has expressed his expectation that efforts to reduce the federal government's workforce will yield significant results within the next 2 to 3 months. The initiative, led by billionaire advisor Elon Musk, aims to dramatically shrink the federal government's workforce and functions through the Department of Government Efficiency. However, critics argue that the effort is disorganized, inaccurate, and disruptive to core government functions. We'll continue to provide updates and analysis on these developing stories throughout the day. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. I'm Barbara, your host today. We have several significant stories to cover this morning, starting with international diplomacy. The United States and Russia have concluded talks in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, aimed at achieving a ceasefire between Ukraine and Moscow, marking a step towards reducing tensions in the region. In trade news, President Donald Trump has announced forthcoming automobile tariffs, but indicated flexibility in imposing levies as initially planned, potentially easing the trade standoff that has been causing market volatility. However, the administration also plans to impose secondary tariffs on countries purchasing oil or gas from Venezuela, opening another front in the global trade war. Turning to security concerns, a U.S. journalist inadvertently received classified information regarding upcoming strikes against Yemen's Houthi rebels through a group chat with top American officials, raising significant concerns about the handling of sensitive information within the administration. In other news, Turkey is experiencing its worst unrest in years following the arrest of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's main rival, Ekrem İmamoğlu, leading to international condemnation. The UN has announced a reduction in its international staff numbers in Gaza due to recent Israeli strikes, resulting in significant civilian casualties. Lastly, a high-level delegation of Trump administration officials has arrived in Greenland, sparking intense debate and raising eyebrows globally. The visit aims to build partnerships, respecting Greenland's self-determination and advance economic cooperation, but the timing and nature have been met with skepticism by Greenlandic officials, who view it as an attempt to exert influence over the autonomous territory. These stories highlight the complexity and interconnectedness of global issues today, from diplomacy and trade to human rights and conflict resolution. Now for the latest in business and finance. Here is Louis, Riskwiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's edition of the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. I'm Louis, your host, and we're kicking off another day in the world of finance. We've got a trio of fascinating stories for you this morning. First, let's take a look at the global trade landscape. The Indian market is showing stability despite global challenges, with the volatility index value relatively low. However, several key developments are making waves, including the Securities and Exchange Board of India extending the suspension of trading commodity derivatives for 7 agricultural commodities. Next up, we're diving into the world of preferred stocks. We've got 2 intriguing articles from Seeking Alpha to share with you. One analysis suggests that Brighthouse Financial's preferred stocks have been rated sell due to inconsistent income statement results and a weak coverage ratio. On the other hand, Lockheed Martin's preferred stocks are being touted as an attractive option for investors seeking high-yield, dividend growth opportunities. Lastly, we're taking a look at the Indian market, where Punjab National Bank has announced a reduction in its lending rates, which could provide a boost to the housing sector. Several major companies are set to announce their quarterly earnings this week, and our team of experts will be closely watching the results. That's all for now, folks. Remember to stay informed, adapt to changing circumstances, and always keep your eyes on the horizon. As we like to say here at the AI Daily Press, stay curious, stay informed, and happy investing. We'll catch you in the next edition of our morning podcast. Until then, have a great day and happy trading. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA's Curiosity rover has made a groundbreaking discovery on Mars, identifying the largest organic compounds yet found on the red planet. These long-chain alkynes, remnants of fatty acids, are essential components of cell membranes in all living organisms on Earth. While this finding doesn't constitute definitive proof of life on Mars, it suggests that organic signatures of life can be preserved in Martian rock for billions of years. In other news, NASA is gearing up for another crucial mission to the International Space Station. The agency has invited media representatives to cover the launch of SpaceX's 32nd resupply mission, which will carry a diverse range of scientific investigations, including experiments in biology, biotechnology, and physical sciences. Lastly, the Webb Space Telescope has been making waves with its incredible discoveries, including the study of the formation of stars and galaxies. The telescope's ability to observe the universe in unprecedented detail has shed new light on the mysteries of the cosmos. These exciting developments are a reminder that space exploration is an ongoing journey, full of surprises and discoveries waiting to be made. We'll continue to follow these stories and bring you updates as more information becomes available. That's all for now. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. I'm Carl, and we'll see you tomorrow. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, we took a closer look at the impressive legacy of defensive talent produced by the University of Georgia Bulldogs. With an astonishing number of NFL sacks accumulated by former Georgia players since 2000, it's clear that the team has established itself as a powerhouse for elite defensive talent. We also touched on the challenges faced by current players, such as Jordan Hall, who is working to recover from injuries and return to full strength. In another story, we highlighted the fantastic initiative launched by the Lackawanna County Parks and Recreation Department, the Sports Gear Recycling Program. This community-driven effort aims to provide equal access to sports equipment for young athletes of all backgrounds, promoting healthy lifestyles, social development, and a sense of community. By donating gently used sports gear, individuals can make a tangible difference in the lives of others. Lastly, we celebrated the remarkable achievements of Wisconsin's own athletic heroes, with a special focus on the state's rich sporting history and the talented individuals who have made their mark on the world of sports. That's all for today's morning podcast summary. The drama of athletic competition is not just about winning or losing. It's about the values we uphold and the positive change we can create in our communities. Tell it like it is. These stories showcase the very best of sportsmanship, community spirit, and human resilience. I'm Howard, and we'll see you again soon on the AI Daily Press. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. First, we explored the world of science with a story on recent breakthroughs in medical research. We delved into the latest developments in healthcare and what they mean for our future. Next, we traveled to rural England, where a small village is fighting to preserve its traditional phone box. We met Derek, the local champion who led the charge to save this iconic piece of British heritage. His story reminds us of the importance of balancing progress with tradition and cherishing the things that make our communities unique. Finally, we visited Melbourne, Australia, where a new Italian deli is making waves with its creative take on traditional focaccia sandwiches. We discovered the passion and craftsmanship that goes into creating these delicious meals, and how they bring people together. These stories showcase the richness of human experience, from scientific innovation to community spirit and culinary delights. Join us as we explore more of these fascinating tales and celebrate the beauty of everyday life. That's all for now. I'm Charles, your guide through the AI Daily Press. Stay informed, stay engaged, and keep exploring. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Let's dive right into it, shall we? In our latest articles, I've been dishing out on everything from festival fashion to anti-Semitism on college campuses. Yes, you heard that right. A little bit of glamour, a whole lot of substance. First up, festival season is upon us, and I'm sharing my top picks for statement pieces that'll make you stand out in the crowd. From Revolve's festival shop to unique finds from brands like Karayu, I've got the scoop on what's hot and what's not. So whether you're a seasoned festival goer or just starting out, get ready to slay a fashion game. But on a more serious note, I'm also sounding the alarm about the disturbing rise of anti-Semitism on college campuses and social media. The new documentary October sheds light on this critical issue, and I'm urging everyone to take action. We need to educate ourselves, support organizations that promote tolerance, and hold our leaders accountable for creating a safe and inclusive environment for all. As Maya Angelou once said, do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. Let's do better, shall we? Stay informed, stay fashionable, and stay fabulous. That's my motto for the day. Tune into our podcast for more juicy discussions, and don't forget to now for the latest in nature and environment. Here's David Atinacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, our top story looks at the conservation efforts for great apes as they adapt to their changing environments. Despite showing remarkable resilience, these animals face significant threats from habitat degradation and human conflict. Experts emphasize the need for strategic planning and community engagement to mitigate these risks and ensure the long-term survival of great ape populations. Next, we explore the innovative use of NASA's advanced spectrometers to study the vibrant colors of wildflowers. This research has far-reaching implications for our understanding of ecosystems and the impact of climate change on vegetation phenology. By tracking changes in blooming patterns, scientists can gain valuable insights into how rising temperatures and changing rainfall patterns may be affecting ecosystems. Lastly, we celebrate a conservation success story as NASA's technology is also being used to support wildlife conservation efforts, including the protection of great ape habitats. Additionally, our previous report highlighted the crucial role that wildflowers play in supporting pollinators and maintaining ecosystem health. These stories underscore the importance of adopting a holistic approach to environmental stewardship, one that values the welfare of both humans and wildlife. As we move forward, it's essential that we support innovative research and conservation efforts to ensure a future where humans and the natural world can thrive in harmony. That's all for today's summary. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. We'll continue to follow these stories and provide updates as more information becomes available. Until next time, I'm your host, David. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Atinacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.